Yo, yo, yo. It's a Knicks world, and we got to get into it, man. It's been a minute, so I'm back. I got the gang with me. Don't do the show alone. Can't do it alone. Got my good brother with me. Champ,
Yo, yo, yo. Let's get this shit going.
how you been on last time? Last time I saw you, you was at Fanatics.
Hmm.
It was a pleasure to finally good see my good brother in the flesh. You know,
Yes, sir. Yes,
pause.
sir.
I don't know if I had to throw pause on that one, but it just had to be, careful.
That,
So,
that, that was wild. That
it,
was that
it,
was
it
kind of
wasn't
wild.
crazy,
I didn't think about it.
but I got to throw it in there. Obviously,
That's correct. See?
got the first lady B,
Yeah, yeah.
first lady
What
B.
up, B?
She not
What
back. She
up,
better.
We back. We
B?
back. Not just
She
us.
not
We.
back. She
I
better.
mean, we back.
Yeah, we back. We back.
Arriba, arriba, arriba.
We got a lot to talk about, gang. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, got the good brother, our guy Ant. How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, eh?
Welcome back, y'all. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Good.
Live in the flesh. The off season in full effect, but we prepping for that. That preseason. You know what I'm saying? Summer workout. So shout out to y'all. Miss you guys. Shout out to a Knicks World family. We appreciate your patience and your love.
Absolutely, absolutely, and obviously, last not least, I got the guy. You know, where is it? There you go.
Yo,
Finally,
yo, yo, yo.
my
This
brother. Brett.
guy
What's
Rails,
going
man.
on? What's
How's
going
it
on?
going, brother? How
What's
you doing?
good?
Feeling good, feeling good. Knicks looking good.
Knicks is looking good.
We
Yeah,
back.
Talk to me, man.
yeah.
Knicks. Last time we talked, it was the playoffs. Was still running, bro.
Ah,
All of us. When it was all of us. Obviously, we had shows in between. We had Macri on a couple weeks ago. Also had James Edwards. And then yeah, we've been putting out a few shorts. We're gonna try to give you a little bit more shorts. We also got an upcoming draft show. That's going to be the top Knicks picks from year 2010, I believe we chose, to 2025. So that's going to be fun. We're going to get some guests on that as well. But yeah, man, we're here for a good time, not a long one. So we're going to get right into it. The Knicks clearly have been busy. They fired their head coach. A lot of people wasn't sure what was going on. But it looked silly. A lot of due diligence was the word, popular term.
scoping the scene.
We got our guy. We got our guy, Mike Brown. Shout out to Mike Brown. Hats off to Mike Brown.
Welcome
Yeah,
aboard, sir.
yeah.
So obviously, he's not the only addition. We also signed Jordan Clarkson, vet minimum. I did not expect to get Jordan Clarkson on a vet minimum deal. I have some interesting things to say about free agency in the CBA, which we'll get into. And then also we got Yabusele. Yabusele, he obviously came over from the Sixers, big man, got that big body. He'll be missed over on the Sixers, but hey, we got him now, and we finally have a bench, ladies and gentlemen. We have the bench. We brought back Porty. Daddy A, obviously he was, he signed up. Maybe we'll do the Kevin McCullough on a rookie deal or something like that. We're gonna see what that is. We still got two open roster spots. There's a couple names out there. I believe we're like 30, $40,000, not million, $1,000 away from being under the second apron. Right now we triggered it. So a lot to discuss.
36,000.
A lot to discuss. Champ, we're gonna kick it off with you first, man. Talk to me about the head coaching search. How you like Mike Brown? What does he does for this team?
Okay,
And then yeah, we'll go around the table
okay, okay,
to the free agents.
okay. So I got him, coach. I got him, B. Y'all ready? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Ant, yo, Rails. I got him, y'all. I got him. Welcome to New York, where we don't play. Too soon? Okay, too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Um, Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Man, what can you say, right? So this man came from the Steve Kerr slash Popovich tree. This man has this man has learned um first years, everybody know him as being with LeBron. In his first couple of years in the league, made two NBA Finals appearance. No, they did not win, but he still got there with a baby Braun at that time. Um, Went to Golden State as the assistant under behind Steve Kerr, got a chip under them. You know what I'm saying? Went to Sacramento, and if I'm not mistaken, he had Sacramento like top three, and I believe they were top four in offense, right? I believe that's what they were. Um, it took Golden State to 7 games. Literally hard fought. People were scared of Sacramento that season. That was like 2 seasons ago. They were scared of that team. I mean, I've never seen anybody fear De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis and Harrison Barnes. Look what he did for Keegan Murray. Look what he did for Malik Monk. Like Keon Ellis made him a top tier. Jalen Brunson had a little bit of trouble with Keon Ellis under Mike Brown tutelage. Like, we're not going to mistake that. The only way we got after that game was when Jalen Brunson outsmarted Keon Ellis
Brought him up.
and you faked him out and made him turn around. You know what I'm saying? Which is a high clip. So the point I'm trying to say is Mike Brown is a damn good coach, a player's coach. I'm happy to have him. I'm even more ecstatic if we end up pulling James Borrego
Mm.
from New Orleans because he's their assistant coach right now, but he wants to come over here. So hopefully that happens. I'm loving that. And the free agents, we could get into that. I just want everybody else to, chime in on
Yeah,
the head coaching.
yeah. The
So
cool thing I wanted to before we get to Ant, the cool thing about the head coaching search, and Leon Rose is a madman. Shout out to Leon Rose. Um, he was able to interview James Borrego
yes,
by interviewing him as a head coach.
yes,
If we said, "Hey, we want to interview him as an assistant," they would be like, "No," because that just happened to what was it? What was the other team that just happened to? They try to get him as an assistant coach. They try to interview him as an assistant coach. They were like, "No, we're not. We're only gonna give him the nod if you're gonna give him a coaching gig." So
yes.
obviously that's a step up. But we know Leon's diabolical, bro. Like he's just outsmarted. Like, no, oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna give him a head coaching job.
Yeah.
No, in the building. Look, man, we probably gonna hire Mike Brown, but we gonna pay you some good bread for this
Since
assistant.
you're here, why not?
You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah.
you think about that? But yeah, Ant, what you think about the head coaching job? Was it somebody else out there that you would have preferred? Can this guy get it done? That's all Knicks fans want to know. Can he get it done? Can he bring a title to New York?
Um, I wanted Jason Kidd. Mike
Because
Brown when he was on the list, I wasn't like 100% against it or anything like that. I think, if Jason Kidd was there, Jason Kidd made the finals. He also has history with the Knicks. But if it didn't work, okay. I wasn't losing my mind. I really wanted Mike Malone. A lot of people say, oh, he's like Tibbs and everything, but he's a proven winner, right? And so, but I could say the same thing about Mike Brown, right? He's been a very successful assistant coach. He had baby LeBron, like Champ said, but I really think that watching what he brought to Sacramento, and how he had success with those guys, you know, just look at where he got them with that when he was there, and look at and before he got there, and then after he got there, and that team hasn't been the same since, right? So, I think he did everything he could. I honestly believe that if De'Aaron Fox didn't break his hand in that series versus Golden State when they were up, they would have gone on to the second round. Um, but yeah, I don't know if he broke his hand or broke his finger. He messed up his hand somehow. Which altered I think the series. Once he messed that up, De'Aaron Fox, he was their best player, and um, so I just think that he maximized his potential. I think that he did everything he could in Sacramento, and to bring success. I mean, the Kings have been nobody's for just as long as almost the Knicks, right? So, um, for me to see that, that's all I need to know. When we, I feel okay. I feel like we're in good hands. The only thing, can he win us a title? That's the whole idea. That's the whole reason we're bringing him here. I think we definitely got to give him some grace, right? Tibbs was here for a long time. We respect and are thankful for what he did. Um, but I love Mike Brown's enthusiasm. The reports are that he is very organized and very detailed, and that he's a leader, and that's what you need. A guy who's gonna cut in when guys need to be told what's up. You know, he's gonna let them know. But he also seems like, when it's time to goof around and have fun, he's gonna do that. But when it's time to lock in and get the job done and focus on executing what you have to do, he's gonna make sure you're doing what you got to do. And that's the kind of vibe I get with him. And that's the type of coach you need, right? It's good to have a well balanced coach, but a coach is gonna hold you accountable at all aspects, regardless of you're the highest paid player or you're the lowest paid player. If you're a walk on, whatever, he's gonna make sure that everybody is gonna be checked, and that's the way it has to be. So, can he win us the title? That's you know, I
Right.
believe that this is our year, this year and the following. But I believe this is the critical year that we're going to see that. If we're bringing back most of these guys and we're not making any significant trades, we should see an uptick in the chemistry. We should see an uptick in how we play, and also when this coach implements offense and also the bench, we should see a tremendous turnaround, right? Guys should be more refreshed in the starting lineup. Guys should be, so there shouldn't be any excuses. The excuses, there should be zero. The only excuse you can say, oh, it's the first year coach. Okay, I get that. But if we look at the terrain of the Eastern Conference, we should be the clear cut number one favorite in the East. But as I was talking to other people on Twitter, thinking like that is also dangerous, because when you
Yeah.
think that you're the lead dog and there's nobody that can challenge you, that's when you can get challenged. And Orlando Magic and the Hawks, they made some
Yeah.
moves and they got better. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Can Mike Brown win us a championship? That's the whole reason we bought him here. And
Yeah.
that's the whole reason we signed him, is because we think that he could take us to that next level. So if the clock is ticking, I'm gonna give him 2 years at least. After that, if he doesn't win the championship, no good. So,
Well, there's
but I'm happy he's here. Shout out to you, Mike Brown. Let's get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations on the job. We obviously are all rooting for you. Can't say all, because if you paid attention a little bit to next Twitter, gonna drop a little clip right here. Shout out to Mill Media, um, who went on and said you have a year, Mike Brown. Uh, hey, man, this is New York. We want winners. We want winning now. It's been a long time, 53 years. We're going into a title drought. Um, yeah, is it a little unfair? Maybe, but not really when you have this type of roster construction. Obviously, health needs to play out, and obviously, you're going to have a lot of those younger teams. Detroit, Orlando, Atlanta has some young guys who can get better. This team, yeah, we have second year players that can get better. Sure, Deuce McBride can get better. He's probably not in his prime. Um, OG's probably in his prime. I think he just came off the best year of his career, probably. Mikel's probably in his prime. Can continuity help? Absolutely. I think it's something we liked last year. But B, talk to me about this head coaching hire, and can he get the job done? That's all fans want to know. Can
I
he
want
get?
to first shout out my ladies because I was always on the ladies side. I like the fact that they talked about Dom. You guys actually put me more on Dom, and I was looking into the Becky Hammonds because I love the idea of a woman coming in. But
Right.
when you looked outside of them and you saw the best available, and I meant a free agent available, to me it was Mike Brown. Of course, we would love Jason Kidd. Mike Malone, I'm not too much of a fan of. It was, to me, it was Mike Malone. Just like Tom Thibodeau, I did my homework on him and I looked and I was amazed at the fact of a lot of things that I was unaware of. And the major thing too, he coached two legends. One is still active and one that's R.I.P. Kobe, who praised him. De'Aaron Fox even praised him recently. He said, if he's out the door, trade me immediately. And we have a man called Jalen Brunson. So if we have people like that praising him, I don't see how he can't flourish Jalen Brunson that is already flourished. You only can make Jalen Brunson better. So the thought process of thinking Jalen Brunson even better than what we've already seen him is crazy to me. I believe, I'm going to say it now, my first take, Jalen Brunson for MVP if we finish number one and he finished the season healthy. He can win MVP under Mike Malone. I mean, excuse me, under Mike Brown. Excuse me, I need to say that in like Mike Malone.
Yeah.
um, I think he could push Jalen Brunson to MVP level where we could see ridiculous numbers. And the major person is Karl-Anthony Towns. We saw it, we wanted it, but it was always like, where's that next level? And you saw what he did to Sabonis. He made not only Sabonis an All-Star, he made Fox an All-Star for the first time. He also snapped a 16 playoff drought for the Kings. So if he can snap a drought like that, I don't see how he can't snap a championship drought for us because he is a championship coach, whether it was an assistant or anything. He also was under Greg Pop and Steve Kerr, two of the best coaches in the NBA. You only can learn from people like that. So knowing that he had this type of caliber under him, I think he's ready for his own team again. And this is no better opportunity than a Knicks team who's hungry. He seems hungry. He seems hungry to win that championship as a head coach. And I'm just excited to see how he could put it all together. People also talk about the Sabonises and the Foxes and the LeBrons, but people forget what he's did for Andrew Wiggins. The
Yeah.
moment Andrew Wiggins he left Golden State, Andrew Wiggins was irrelevant again. Andrew Wiggins was an all-star. He really, and Keegan Murray, he looked like a bust, almost a draft bust, until he came with Mike Brown. So he not only flourishes stars, but I'm really excited what he could do with Mikal and what he could do with OG, because those are people that we need with Jalen and Cat. So I'm really excited to see what he's doing going forward.
I agree. Phenomenal take. I think he gave us a shirt as well. So shout out to you, B. Back and better. Yeah, Browns, man, talk to me, man. Can this guy win a championship? That's all the fans want to know. That's all we care about. Can he bring us to tears in a good way?
I believe so, and the reason being, he won 4 championships already as a assistant coach, right? You talking about a guy who won 60% of his games in the regular season and strong playoff wins, right? We brought him in for adaptability. We need him to adapt, right? So he's known for his defense. He was top three actually on offense when he's with the Sacramento Kings. Top five for the majority of the season of that year. We want to say 22, the 23 season. He's really big and strong on using his bench, and that's something that we've been crying for. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. We appreciate him for what he done, but one thing we criticize him as fans and say and the same thing as the media that he doesn't use his bench. You got brand new coaches not going to use 6 or 7 players and play them all 35 minutes plus. That's just ridiculous, right? You're not gonna have a starter that's going to be mixed with the bench playing crazy numbers about like 46 to 48 minutes again. That doesn't make any sense. So you got a coach, I mean, no disrespect to Tiz, no, it depends on how you want to take it. We need a coach that's going to play the bench. We need a coach that's going to be able to adapt and build a winning culture. And Mike Brown comes from a winning culture with the Spurs, what he did with the Cavs, what he tried to do with the Lakers, with God bless the dead with Kobe. And for him to make Sacramento to be the laughing stock and to a team where people say, "Oh, we got to take them a little bit seriously." Yeah, he had superstar talent with Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, but at the end of the day, you have all the talent in the world. You got to play hard and look with the team, just like Sis and just like Ant said. And I agree everything that you said. And I feel like that is an unfair. There's no such thing somebody coming as a coach for 1 year and just win it all. I think we got to relax. It's not microwave, okay? You're not putting your shit in the air fryer. For one, we got a core, which I agree. You got a core now, which a lot of teams around the East don't have right now because they blew up their teams because of second apron, right? You plug in guys, you plug in that big man from Philadelphia 76ers. You got Jordan Clarkson, so you got somebody with the ball who can score. Don't need Jalen Brunson. It's not gonna stay in the corner. You got someone who gonna come off the bench with some energy. You're gonna be paired up with Josh Hart, who's always been that Swiss Army knife, right? Then you got the deep, you got big. big D-Lo man for the 76ers that's gonna get your rebounds and he can shoot the three ball. Last time I looked, I think he shot like 36 to 38%,
And
which is
yeah,
not bad.
transition. He's shooting the highest
He
anybody.
killed us. He killed us in games.
Yeah,
And I said to Chance, I said, damn, and God is good. Didn't even know that he was gonna be a New York Knicks 7 months later. I said, who can't keep busting that ass, man?
it,
Hmm.
Hey, me and Champ was complaining. And God is good. We got
Super
him, right?
solid.
Right. God is
obviously,
good. We got him. And I feel like this too, and before I pass the ball, is very important. We already know what the start five is going to give us. It's very important to me to build the bench. You know why I love the second apron so much? No, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it because I don't care for super teams. I'm an old fuddy duddy. I'm 43. Don't give me no super teams. I want to see a coach. I want to see an organization
yeah,
come aligned and build a team like the 70. I mean, excuse me, like the Thunder. Yeah,
right.
you can tell me they have a whole bunch of draft picks. Yeah, yeah, indeed. But you have to coach them players. Nobody was crawling to go to the Thunder. Just like the same thing with the Pacers. RP to them, you have to build your team. The reason why everybody's crying about the second apron because they so used to the analytics and being lazy. Nah, now it's the time what the old coaches are saying. You gotta build your roster. There's no more telling me the numbers. Shoot here at you shot here at 70%. Nah, throw that book out the way. It's cute for some stuff. I want to see if you got the talent. I want to see if you got the dog. I want to see you able to sacrifice to give up the ball. I want to see you try to be prima donna. I want to see you try to just get your bag. I want to see you meshing with your team because what the Thunder just showed you, matter the Thunder and the Pacers both showed you, team play,
Yeah,
team togetherness on and off the court get you further. Not have one, two stars being prima donnas and everybody else don't eat. Now we got a coach who's going to his track record is going to build a bench, and then that's going to give help to Brunson when he feel like he doesn't have to do everything because now you get him someone who's going to be a dog on the rebound, due to what Mitch is going to be for the whole year. You get him another dog that's going. He's definitely a dog with him and Josh Hart. Somebody's going to give you some high power offense. On top of Cole Lick, he's going to his second year, and Hawk Porty, and that you got a bunch of young talent on that bench where you going to mold and moving forward. It's going to be beautiful for our cap space situation because if we build our own guys and sign our own guys down the line, we're going to be just like the Thunder one day. We're going to be under the cap space. We can keep resigning and resigning because we're not going to hurt ourselves, but have to worry about paying the LeBrons.
yeah.
Not leave it there.
The cap amount went up 7%. It was widely expected to go up 10%. So a lot of teams that were operating, knowing what the CBARs and their most creative guys in the building, putting on their thinking caps. It's still some more thinking to do. At the top of the show, we talked about how the Knicks are about. I don't have the exact number in front of me, 30, whatever, some maybe 60, whatever, maybe 100,000 or something, where you're not triggering the second apron at this point. Right now, we're right there. Obviously, you're still able to get veterans. Um, it's a lot of names out there still. You still have like Quentin Grimes out there. You still have
Ben Simmons
yeah. It's
Hell
for the
no.
Heat.
what's
Simmons.
what's
For the
interesting
Hell
Heat.
no.
and
Hell no. Don't ever bring up that. Don't ever bring up that Ben his name ever again in your life. Keep him in
Why
Brooklyn,
not?
away from here. The
hey
Why
only
that
not?
thing
if,
good for is having the freshest fit on the sideline. That's
You know
it.
what's funny? You know what's funny about the Ben Simmons thing? And the funny thing is, Mike Brown is the exact coach you would want
yeah
if we had a Ben Simmons. That's the funny thing.
No,
Look,
because Ben Simmons doesn't like to be challenged though. So the
but again,
last time a coach challenged him, he got traded and he was
but look at the company that he's around.
that was young Ben Simmons
Look
and
at the company that he's around.
look
Um,
your
I
full frontal lobe isn't even fully developed. You're
Yeah,
7 years old.
Yo, Stan, I would actually like to say that the Knicks are actually $3.5 million under the second apron. That's why they have a tax mid-level exception.
Okay, yeah,
Just
thank you
look
for that.
that. Just look up on the numbers. We
if
won't be able to afford Quentin Grimes because Quentin Grimes camp already said he
Right,
wants $35 million a year.
right,
if
right.
you
really.
look at and if you look at what the early years of LeBron when Mike Brown had him, LeBron couldn't shoot, but he was orchestrating and he was driving and
So
kicking it out.
LeBron
If you look at the early years of Golden State, Draymond couldn't shoot, but he initiated the offense at the top of the key. If you look at when he was in Sacramento with Sabonis, Sabonis couldn't shoot, but he was doing a lot of I heart like things, dribble handoffs or passing out of the post or just doing baby jump hooks.
Sabonis
That's
is
a
a
lot
dog.
that Ben Simmons can do.
Mm,
The coolest thing about Mike Brown for me,
it's not a dog though.
yeah,
Most importantly, it's the things that Cat could do. I think that he could have Cat bring up his assist. We
yeah,
needed a playmaker, and I feel like Cat could pass the ball.
And real quick,
that's exactly where I was going to hit on. The best part about Mike Brown, I believe his teams lead the league in this in assists. So
He
Yes.
started.
you got to
He's not. Mhm.
yeah, now that
Sorry,
rock.
Stan.
You got to swing that rock now because before I think we were what 23rd last year in assist
Yes,
like that. Like
yes. And
and
Stan, he started the hockey assist.
well, so we're not assisting the ball. We're turning over the ball at a decent clip.
Mhm.
Gonna find the right spots. And I agree with what B said earlier. I think you could get an MVP type season out of Jalen Brunson. I think he kind of just came off of one, obviously. Best player
Yeah.
in the
it's
East.
funny you mentioned that, Stan, because I just looked up because Rel said that you got to build your team, and we saw what OKC did. Let me just read you the numbers, right? The MVP of the league, Finals MVP, the Western Conference MVP, and the NBA champion Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, right?
Yeah.
He averaged 37 minutes, 29.9 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6.5 assists. Jalen Brunson in this year's playoffs, 37.8 minutes, 29.4 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, but 7 assists. The only difference is between OKC
Bench.
and the Knicks was that the OKC Thunder were had they use the bench, right? They don't play 7 guys; they play more than that.
Yep.
They pay 10.
That's what I'm saying. They play 10 guys,
Heck.
but they also got versatility on that
Yep.
front. Chet is versatile as hell. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Defensively, you know what I'm saying? He could defend, and then he he's like he's a hybrid. You know what I'm saying? He's like a freak of nature. That guy, the way he's built, and then Jalen Williams plays a great 2-way basketball, and he was also playing with a torn ligament. He got surgery, so shout out to the OKC Thunder. But I think last year the biggest problem was our turnovers, and you have one ball handler. That's it. One
And
ball
Yeah.
can I just pick about Anthony's Ant said? That was great, and right on the money. Like I said before, Mike Brown, he started with LeBron used to say the hockey assist, whereas the whole starting five had to at least get 3 assists in the first starting five. And that stuck with me over the years. I said, what does it matter if you have a point guard? But I get it because it keeps the defense honest. If I'm the center, I'm looking out to pass the ball to the power forward, to the small forward. Imagine that to stay on that floor in the starting five, everybody has to have 3 assists. That's amazing. To what point is you not just worry about Brunson had to try to make everybody great. Once you got different ball handlers, that's where you bring the Jordan Clarkson, right? That's where you still have your Josh Harts, who was maybe in a great game giving you 8 assists. Everybody play DraftKings or whatever you do, FanDuel prospects. You get the over 8 assists because this is a great matchup. To Ed's point, I do I do been sending the things out there, but you also got, and I'm sure and probably throw it from this standpoint too, is you can't have two Josh Harts in the game at the same time. And he just a taller Josh Hart in a way. But if you get him from the cheap, I see why you would do that too. But
Yes.
also to Ants points too is with the Thunder, the reason that bench was great because everybody could do something different in their role. And I think that's something we haven't had yet come off the bench. What can you do differently on your role? Clarkson, who could be a hot oven for the 3-point line or get into the free throw line or get everybody else involved. You got the Josh Hart, the Swiss Army knives. We're gonna see what Hardy do. It depends what you have in the start lineup or Mitch. Right, you got another big who could shoot the three ball, who could get rough and rugged, knock some people out. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see us get a little bit more different guard play outside of
I think we for sure.
yeah. I think we need to get at least 1 or 2 more guards.
Yeah,
At least at
I
least
think
some type of shooter.
Get us Seth Curry.
I think that if he's a shooter, you definitely need more shooting, but you need a guy who can take pressure off of, Jalen can play off ball. You know what I'm saying? He can knock down those shots. But when you have somebody else that's elite with the ball, right? Now you can't double. Now you can't throw 3 or 4 guys onto the same person. When you have versatility with the ball handling, now Jalen's not exhausted come fourth quarter, right? He's the most
Yeah.
clutch. But they did the same thing. Curry, same thing. They made Curry play defense, and in that fourth quarter, now them legs is tired when them jump shots and everything. So I think that if you take some of the minutes away from Josh, because I love Josh Hart, but personally,
He can't start no
he
more.
I think you take some of those minutes from him and you give it to a guy like Deuce McBride. I think that with more minutes, I think Deuce could be more productive. He can, he could provide offense. There's a lot of those games in those playoffs that we saw. I mean,
Shout out to
bad
Deuce.
in
He
the
shouted
Pistons.
us out. Shout out to Deuce.
He was bad in the Pistons
Shout out to
series.
Deuce.
Picked it up as he went along, and he finally started to get the ball rolling. So I think that we could see a lineup change. I personally, I think overplaying Josh Hart, I think that's what hurt us in that Pacers series. I think that you got to play if he's got it going, cool. If not, then I think you got to go, and that's what I hope Mike Brown brings to the table. Right? Is that we bring back? I don't even want Steph Curry. If we could bring back Shaman, Shaman was a great fit. I loved his aggressiveness on both ends of the floor. Right? I love that he fought over every screen. He wasn't gonna. He was saying, "No, I'm not taking the pick. I'm staying with you, and I'm not letting you get past me. And if you're gonna try to get past me, I'm gonna make sure you fight tooth and nail for this bucket." And then he was making shots. So I want to see Mike Brown utilize that if we bring back Shaman. But what we got right now, I like what we got. I just think that again, we need to add another ball handler besides Clarkson. He's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? He can get hot at any moment. He's like a microwave. Um, but yeah, man, that's what I really want to see. I want to see the bench implemented because otherwise, if that's what I really want to see. Is the bench going to be implemented, and then how are we going to be different? Are we going to take care of the ball? Because the
Well,
turnover,
Yeah.
those were all self-inflicted wounds, right? We shot ourselves in the foot every game, just giving the ball away. We can't do that. So those are the two things: bench utilization and cleaning up the stupid fouls and the stupid.
Yeah. And
actually,
we
no.
got we got two exception stands. We got the minimum salary exception, and we got to execute the rookie scale deals or minimum contracts
Well, we gave
for late
another
picks.
exception to Yabusele. So he took that. So that's gone. That raised um our us to trigger the second apron or get close to it if I'm not mistaken. But B said something on the timeline that I believe it was B uh, that a lot of people just keep saying these things, and it reminds me of when James Edwards was on the show and he kind of like tried to correct us on like the tip ceiling thing, and it's like a lot of us are saying we don't have a second playmaker, we have Tyler Coley.
Yep.
We have,
Hello.
Yeah,
Gotta
like
unlock him.
he is a
Yep.
playmaker. We know if nothing else, that's what he can do. Will we see him? Is he going to be like a liability? I don't know. There's something he got to work on this offseason. He's not the smallest point guard. He's not the biggest either. Shout out
He
to
need to
Norman.
hang out with TJ McConnell. That's who he needs to go work out with during the summer.
Hey, if he
the
could go
better team
work
on him because he can
out,
hit the three ball.
or shit, we can figure out.
Just
TJ.
get in the weight room.
We can figure out a way to pull TJ McConnell off. Obviously, we can't do no.
I got one better. If we could call,
Game
if we could
time.
call, if we could call Dame Time, because Dame could play for. You know what they said? They was laughing, but it's true. Because I looked at it today. Dame could play for $2.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's
Imagine that.
he
Two
literally
dollars.
he literally got he's going to get paid $22 million stretched out over 5 years. The largest stretch provision since
In sports,
in sports. But I think
22.2.
for that, I mean, obviously the Knicks we stretched Stoudemire.
We did that
Actually,
for Joakim Noah too.
we
Yep.
should
We did it
Stoudemire.
for Joakim Noah too.
Yeah, we
I
Yep.
love
we
Joakim Noah. That's one of my favorite players.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Dame's gonna come here though, only because we already got Clarkson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, it'd be cool, but
It,
um,
it will require a move.
no,
Well,
100%.
no,
If we
no, no.
trade,
Let me cut you off. Saying what they said today is he's going back to Portland. He'll be with his family. He's going to get back healthy. Shout out to Ramona Shelburne. She actually said this today on NBA Today. Like that's what it was like. Dame can play for like $2. right? And they said that Dame could really just go in, whoever's contending, jump on that team, even come off the bench. Because also Marcus Spears, shout out to him, said the same thing too. He's supposed to Dame's camp. He can jump and come off the bench, and then when the season's over, he's not tied to anybody. Then he can resign as a free agent, which he's never been before.
So obviously those are nice, sexy options. Let's stay in the sexy. You know,
Yeah.
the Knicks
I don't see how
are
Dame decides to come off the bench at this point in his career.
After
But
an
you can,
Achilles
but
tear,
he's coming off that careless injury. He
Yeah.
understands. Nobody go back to the starting lineup off
if he's
that.
gonna start somewhere, it's not gonna be in a contender. That's the
I
truth.
think I think
I
it'll
don't
be
want to get excited.
Miami.
I don't want to get excited. I don't want to get excited.
No,
Yeah.
but they said that he could jump to. They said if he waits, she said if he just waits and no rushes, his healing the injury, he could jump to any contender, play for like $2 or under $1 million because he's getting paid still. And then when the season's over, all right, next I did my part. Go to the sunset to another team that actually can sign
Yeah,
him for longer.
yeah,
That's they said that you don't. They said for him, it's a win 'cause you never see this before. He really can just go into the team for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I do it. Who win?
Where's
Well,
he
yeah, no.
from? Where's Dame from
Depends.
again?
right for him.
Oakland.
Go
Obviously,
ahead.
Oakland.
saying CP3 right now. He's saying he wants to start somewhere. So
Oh,
Yeah,
is that a conversation that he's like? Where does he want to go? Does he want to start? Does he want to contribute? Is he cool? Just look.
He's going back to Phoenix. They say he wants to be close to home. So I'm not even going to put him with the Knicks. They say he
Well,
already said
Nah,
that he
he's
wants to
not.
be
He
close
said
to
it's
home.
Clippers or Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. And
bugging.
like Dame can like he can stay home, like completely stay home. He's beloved in Portland. He's a point leader there. Maybe he doesn't ring chase. Maybe he just like, you know what? I already have my house out here. It's a beautiful home. I'm out here anyway rehabbing. I'm visiting my family. Maybe he just stays home. I think that might be a decision for him.
Yeah, they said he might go to Oakland because
But again,
he's an
that's why
Oakland
I
kid.
don't understand why people don't want Ben Simmons. It's just a name, I guess, but he's
Huh?
older.
I think Ben
What?
Simmons is a little bit of a different situation, especially him coming over the mental health stuff. Um, the
Ant stupid. He said, huh?
plays.
yeah. That's,
He's doing
No, I'm just saying he is a playmaker. He is a
We don't
playmaker.
talk about names we don't like. Like all right, we'll bring up LeBron James. We'll
Stay
bring up
over there.
hold on. Before you go to LeBron James, Ben Simmons has not played winning basketball in how long?
he hasn't
Like,
been part of any winning basketball.
okay, so thank you. That's what I wanted. He's not a winner. He's not a winner.
Then we could talk about Jordan Clarkson, and we could talk about
Hold
Yabusab.
on.
They
Jordan,
just came off
no,
losing
Jordan Clarkson
teams.
has shown up in playoff games. I can tell you that much.
And he's a
When's the last time
career.
Jordan Clarkson was
Ben
in the playoffs?
Simmons, Ben Simmons turned away from dunking on Trey Young. By the way, that's all I want to tell you. That's
I'm
it.
just looking right now. Well, yeah, that's the
All
past.
I'm
Come on. He just
saying.
this season. I'm looking here. He just averaged almost 6 assists in 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And it didn't contribute to any winning.
The Clippers were 50 and 32.
How far did they get?
I mean, that's not his fault.
Not his fault, bro.
He only
That
played
ain't his
20
fault.
minutes. He played 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's all
he
we
did. He
need
did
from
what he had
him.
to do.
That's
Hey,
all we
listen,
need
That
is
ain't
just
on
6 assists
him.
in 20
Remember when they
minutes.
the end of the day,
up Yellow
It
Ninja?
said, it said, get off my lawn.
And they
That,
also lost to the Clippers. I mean, the Nuggets. The Nuggets. That's
he's the
Jokic, baby.
reason that they
That's
made the rules about load
Right,
management.
Ant? Get off my goddamn lawn.
That- that
no. I'm
brings
not a big fan of Ben Simmons, but I think that again, a lot of people don't realize we don't need him to
Yo,
be here
Ant, man,
for
that's funny. He
30 or
like, get
30
the
minutes.
fuck
We just
out of
need
Yeah, I
him.
here.
mean, yeah, two-way playmaker.
You
Like
get him
that's
on a
all we
mid.
need
You
him
get
for.
that talent on a mid. Forget the name.
not play defense like the way.
And I'm not even gonna hold you in. When I saw Bleacher Report, I'm at work, and I clicked on that Bleacher Report. It said Knicks just check in Ben Simmons, and I'm not gonna lie to you. For a millisecond, I'm like, damn, they really trying to build that bench. Do it. This because I just don't want the bench. I just don't about the bench. He's 6'9", who can rebound, which is cool. He's great on transition, which we all cry about. And he can do assists. If and I'm not gonna lie, damn, I'm putting myself into this. And I'm not gonna lie to you. If he can just do me transition defense, give me supports, give me 6 assists,
Doesn't
I'm
play.
okay with it. I'm okay with it.
He
I'm,
doesn't play
I'm
defense.
I'm more along the lines of with Ant when it comes to bring Shamit back, especially if he can
Yeah.
give us. Now the thing with Shamit, I personally think he's probably played himself into that mid-level exception money at this point. I think I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. The thing that I do like about this CBA, and it sucks for the players, but I don't know if I play. I know Champ plays 2K. You play 2K, you start simming the seasons. You get a guy that's on free agent. You trying to sign him. He's like, nah, I need $20 million. He's a free agent for the rest of the season. He doesn't get to play. This new CBA is basically pushing these guys to like, yo, do you want to play in NBA or what?
Yeah.
You go over in China, you could go over in Australia, you could go somewhere else to get your bag. But with this new CBA, we're reserving it for the top tier. It's like ESPN giving Stephen A. $20 million, but cutting everybody else. They're like, nah, we're gonna get that top dog, and then everybody else, we're gonna fill them out with just new talent, roundabout talent. So you can get some pieces with this new CBA. Vet minimum guys who normally you would never have gotten that. You're paying these
Yeah.
guys $15 million. Now it's like, no, collective bargaining agreement. It is going to be a lockout. It's going to be a lockout because this is not good for the players. It's good for the top tier players. That's it. If you're in the mid, if you're young, it works for you because you're basically getting paid for being young. But you got young guys who's getting paid better than some vets. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. I didn't want the show to be too long. We are approaching 41 minutes, so we'll do another topic. Obviously, it's the off season. We're gonna have a lot more shows. Maybe we'll give you another one, guys, tomorrow. By the time you watch this, it'll be whatever that is. You guys give me. Obviously, we can't touch too much more. Do you guys want to talk about LeBron? You want to save that for our next show?
That
You
should
want
be
to
a
talk
whole
about
nother
other
show.
guys?
He can stay where he at.
Because yes.
Okay, so I guess we're talking about him briefly. He can stay where you at.
Can I start?
Yeah.
Just quick. Stay where you at. You know why? Because that means that
Raise
when
your
you
hand if
trade
you
him,
want LeBron.
because when you trade him, you gotta give up something. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if he's you going gut because the Lakers is like, you know what? They desperate. They
They need
they need players. They need bench. That
And that's
means we
exactly what
going
we would give
that
them.
that means we're gonna be disrupting our flow just to get someone who I'm not saying LeBron is whatever. It's just that
I'll say
it was cool 5 years ago. No disrespect. I'm probably be alone and maybe not. I'm okay where I'm at because we finally did something right. We finally got 7 players that has been with us for a second year, and it was not really trickiness. Okay, I want this coach just to focus on the players that he got, new pieces gonna come in, fixing people that we drafted, and just have not worry about nobody. This prima donna, I want it my way. Trade them. Stay over there. Stay over there.
respected. And
I
what
don't. Okay.
thoughts?
Um,
We have a nice culture.
so you don't actually have to give up too much for LeBron.
Facts.
That's actually not true. You don't have to gut the team.
Right.
Facts.
And
Trade
you,
Karl Towns, and I think it's a pick or Pacome or something like that, and you can get LeBron. Um, and this is something I've always said. Like, I don't know how Mike Brown's gonna fix the defense, right? Because
yeah, so
bad habits you can't unteach. You can only unlearn that when you're young, and a coach has to, you know what I'm saying, get that early. Otherwise, you develop bad habits. You know what I'm saying. Now, if Cat just really gets in his, focus on and he, locks in and doesn't commit these stupid fouls, but I just think he's just always going to commit these silly fouls and stuff. So I personally, if that's on the table, I mean, LeBron is another ball handler. He can play off ball too, but even at this age, he's better than than
yeah,
everybody on the roster, and he's experienced. Obviously, it's like a 1 year or 2 year rental, but again, even at this age, he could dribble better than OG, Mikal.
Hmm.
He's been there, done that, and then so you're
but
telling me, and LeBron's no, even at this age, he's better defender than Karl-Anthony Towns.
yeah,
That's not even a question, even at this age. Um, but You guys talking about you guys want Ben Simmons? I could get you somebody better than Ben Simmons. There's no way you telling me you
You
want Ben.
want Ben on a min. That's all. I
Hold
want
on,
Ben on a
hold
min.
on,
You don't
hold
got to do
on,
nothing
hold
for
on,
Ben.
hold on, hold on. I'm not done talking. So there's no way you telling me you want Ben Simmons with your left hand, but then on the right hand say you don't want LeBron. That's mental illness, in my
That's
opinion.
not even a
So,
comparison.
Okay.
so, you would improve the defense. You get another ball handler. You get an experienced championship player. Listen, I don't care. I'm not a fan of KD, but I was willing to bring KD because he's not a liability defensively. He can get any shot he wants on the floor. LeBron could do the same thing. So if again, you don't have to gut the team. It's a 1 year rental, I guess, or 2 year at max. And I think that if there's a year, again, we all agree this is a 2 year window, right? If we
Yeah.
don't get it done these next 2 years, now these guys are not getting any younger. So you're gonna have to look at. We're gonna have to the team's gonna look a lot different in 2 years if we don't win a title. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, in
B.
that scenario, I'm gonna
No,
let B
That's a
go.
that's a
uh,
fair
No,
point.
yeah, I
no,
stay. I mean, on champion wanted
no,
to say something. Go ahead,
no,
champion.
I need to hear from B right now. Sorry.
Hi, LeBron James. Oh no, 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 no. And it's not because I don't respect LeBron James as a player, and I would never deny his talent. LeBron James is one of one. So to compare him to OG or Ben Simmons, anybody on that roster is crazy because he's LeBron James. The thing is, I am a Knicks fan. And I don't want to be a part of LeBron's legacy. I don't care to be a part of it. I don't want to have it. Oh, LeBron is the reason y'all want to rank. I can't defend it because I feel like we could win without LeBron. And that's just the fight. We were 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. 2 wins without LeBron. What has LeBron done since the bubble with the Lakers?
Yeah.
He hasn't done much. He barely makes the playoffs. He when they do, they get eliminated in the first round. They don't. He it's. I think he's at a point in his career where he needs us more than we need him, and that's just how I feel about it. I also feel
I
we
agree.
already can't afford MSG prices. Imagine LeBron and MSG. We're never gonna get in there. I think it's just the LeBron. It's gonna be the LeBron show, and I don't care for it because we built our own culture. We built Jalen Brunson. Well, Jalen Brunson built himself. Excuse me when I say that. Jalen Brunson came here and he was our savior. Another thing, I understand Karl-Anthony Towns is very a liability on defense, but he's 29 years old, and this is his first time actually being in a defensive setting. In Minnesota, he wasn't held liable to be defensive at all. So his first year to understand I gotta play defense. If I don't, we're not gonna win. I gave him another chance, again, another year that we just did it to Randall. When we could have gave Randall another chance, we sold him. And I don't feel like we should do that again to Carl Towns. We have to keep Carl Towns here to understand that you have to play defense for us to win. And I don't see how Mike Brown doesn't come in and fix that immediately. I know bad habits are hard to die, but I've also seen players overnight change it. That's why we have the most improved player award. That's the whole reason for that award. There's players who came 1 year and completely changed it around another year. And I don't see how Carl Towns can't get a year where he understands I cannot do these silly fouls again. I cannot play like this again. If not, we are gonna lose again. And Mike Brown will hold him accountable because that's one thing Mike Brown does. He holds every player accountable on the same level. I don't care if you're Kobe. I don't care if you're Mario Chalmers. You have to play defense. You have to pass the ball. And I feel like he's going to hold Carl Towns liable. If not, we're not going to see Carl Towns on that floor. And Carl Towns doesn't get paid to not be on the floor. So he's going to start to understand I got to play defense. Or you're going to sit. It's simple. It's simple. I don't see why we need LeBron. I just don't see. Another thing about chemistry is important. This team came together and lost together. I don't see how we don't come back and try to win it. We were this close to a Pacer team that I felt like we could have beat it if again our coach didn't make adjustments mid-series. You don't make adjustments mid-series and expect to win the series. He went into that series with some of the changes, I think we would have won the championship. Excuse me, won to the finals because again OKC was a whole different animal. But I think that we understand what needs to be done now to win, and the whole thing is we. That's why I keep looking at it as a Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr type of thing. Tibbs already showed us defense. It wasn't the best, but he showed us defense already. To have someone polish this all up, I think Mike Brown does that.
I'm gonna because it seems like so. I'm gonna get to you, champ, but I feel like Ann has something to say, so I'm gonna go back to Ann for a second.
And she said that. Well, first of all, you said that a coach doesn't. If a coach makes mid playoff adjustments, that you don't win. That's not true. They
No, no,
actually.
no. I said and Tibbs, he did that in our kid situation, and that's why I felt like we didn't win.
Well, I disagree. I think that he didn't make adjustments, and that I think the reason why we lost because after that loss in game one, we went ahead and lost in game two. So if you want to blame the players for game one loss and that choke, okay, but it's the coach's job to have the players ready. You don't go down 2-0 at home. Um, and that's why he didn't make the adjustments early enough. He also didn't play the bench at all throughout the whole year and then decided to use the bench in the playoffs, which is
Too
that's
late.
on the coach. And that's the whole reason we lost because you didn't make any adjustments. You don't wait to the playoffs to make adjustments. You're supposed to have utilize those changes throughout the year so that you know what you have and what you can do. And he didn't counterpunch at all. He counterpunched too late and he wasn't ready and he got out coached. So I agree with that. But I disagree with that. But Karl-Anthony Towns actually was known for playing elite defense on the
Timberwolves.
final MVP and the two-time MVP Nikola Jokic, and a lot of people said that he shut him down that series, and that's when they went to the Western Conference Finals that season. He locked down Joker. So to say that he wasn't expected defense, everybody I talked to says, "Oh, yo, he locked Joker that year down. He locked Joker that year down. He locked Joker that year." So that notion that he's not expected to play defense, that's wrong. So I just think
That's one series.
no, yeah, it's one series, but again, that's a generational player that he shut down. So to say that
That's
he
fine.
wasn't expected to play defense,
I
no.
don't think he was held
The
as much
reason why they
accountable in
lost
Minnesota
that
as
Western
New York.
Conference Finals is because he shot Minnesota out of the series. Actually, he had the worst uh, offensive performance in that series. Who did they go up against? The Mavs. Yeah, so he was horrible. I don't remember the numbers, but they were bad. He was like, yeah, he had a terrible shooting. I think it was 15 for 35. It was really bad. So something like that. I don't remember, but I personally think that again, like you said, B, you said that if he doesn't cut these things out, we're gonna lose, and that's my fear is that when Shaq, when you're sitting after we beat them in Game 5 and we were going to Indiana, Shaq and Charles looked at this man in the face, two Hall of Famers, and said, "Yo, man, why do you commit these stupid fouls? Like when you commit these fouls, they go on a run every time you go to the bench." And he goes, "Only God knows." That's no, that's not a valid answer. Like you need to, and again, we both agree that Mike Brown will hold these guys accountable. But the reason why I would embrace a LeBron for cat trade, number one, even at this age, LeBron is more reliable and he's been shown to be on the court and healthier than Karl-Anthony Towns has a long history of knee problems and he's not getting any younger. But also, even this past season, he's been nagging and limping, and then so that's another thing you have to think about, right? And
How many
like,
games LeBron missed this season?
what's up?
How many games LeBron missed this season due to injury?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But I tell you what, though, the Lakers wouldn't have made the playoffs if it wasn't for LeBron. So I can tell you that, and
We
I
don't
can
make the
also
playoffs if Carl Towns didn't play.
that's not true because we saw without Carl Towns, where do we get with Jalen Brunson?
Yeah.
And only 6, 7 guys.
Yeah.
No, Mikal. All the guys were hurt. We took Indiana. We went 7 games with Indiana in the second round. So I've seen Jalen Brunson do it before. So you're telling me that if you have Jalen Brunson and LeBron, you know what I'm saying? LeBron can play off ball. Mike Brown can manage LeBron's minutes. I mean, at the end of the day, come playoff time, you want these guys to play as many minutes as possible. But with Mike Brown utilizing the bench, I don't see. And then he also knows LeBron, right? They have a long history, long tenure of friendship and coaching, and they've been to the finals together. So that's another thing, another bond that And then Jalen Brunson can learn so much from LeBron, also be a better playmaker.
I was going to get to that.
Well, LeBron is number one on the all-time scoring list, and he's not. That's not even the best thing that he does. The best thing LeBron's done his whole career, and shout out to Champ because Champ highlighted it earlier. His playmaking is off the charts. It's
Yes.
Sir.
It's Magic Johnson level. Like that's
Yes,
how
sir.
playmaking is. So I mean, it'd be great if you could get a Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and Cat. That'd be amazing. But then you talk about gutting the team, like Rel said. So again, a lot of people don't like LeBron. I don't. At the end of the day, I just want to win a title.
Right.
That's
Facts.
I don't care who's on the team. Like
Right.
I don't.
Facts.
So
Uh,
that's my attitude.
I'm good with either way. I'm good with either way. I'm good with either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're not gonna get the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to clear 50 million, and LeBron has say so over who he wants to go to, because he has that player option, and obviously he's not going to try to gut the team just so he could be received. You know what I'm saying? We keep seeing conflicting reports saying, "Oh, we want a coach that's going to maximize and play the youth and development and stuff like that," which would be the kids. But then you also see reports on, "Well, we just signed Yubasale. We just got Jordan Clarkson. Now Mitch Robinson's back, so it's going to be a style lineup. So now you got Deuce McBride and then you got Josh Hart coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Which is like four vets, but then
Yeah,
you still got to play the kids. So it's
yeah.
like,
Thing
which
every
one is it?
can't play
Yeah,
every. So
exactly.
this
So
is
my
why I think with Champ,
a move is coming.
yeah, you kind of like. I get B's point. I do get it, but in this, like, we have to maximize. And yes, a lot of people. I'm not comfortable with with the favorite conversation. I don't
Hmm.
like actually. I prefer us to be doubted. Like
Yeah.
watching the roommates pod, the last one of the year, and the guys were talking about that, like how we beat the Celtics, we weren't favored to beat them. We beat them. We were favored to beat the Pacers, and they beat us.
Yep.
Like sometimes it plays in your head. You don't want that hype at times. It's like, oh, damn, we're gonna be the favorites.
But that's why I said earlier, bro, like the Orlando and the Hawks, like anybody who downplays those moves, like
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
hyped. Oh,
team that's more the team that's more fundamentally sound and takes care of the ball is gonna be the Indiana Pacers did that. They didn't have I mean Pascal Siakam is their number two, right? But we would all agree that Karl-Anthony Towns is better than Pascal Siakam, right? And then Jalen Brunson, you know what I'm saying? Like our one and two should be better. But listen, they as a team, they beat us. They
yeah, I can.
and the Hawks are built just like
I
Understand.
watch basketball though. The Hawks look
the
good.
Hawks are built just like the Pacers.
Orlando's coming.
See,
Like
Hmm.
here's the thing, and Ant talked about it earlier. What those teams don't have, what we'll have, if provided we don't make any drastic moves, they don't have continuity now.
Yes.
yep.
The guys that made it to the finals were the Pacers. They had continuity. Was
Yes.
the Thunder? They had continuity.
Yes.
You got the Denver Nuggets. They are stacked right now.
Them
Yep.
They
in Houston.
figure it out.
Houston.
They have a great coach. I
Good
think
luck the
Jesus
Western
Christ,
Conference.
Houston.
Houston has, bro.
Houston bugging.
Houston has
God.
as well. Now, if they make
Shout out to
more
the GM.
this, I don't. I think it's gonna be tough. But I think email
Well,
figure it
good
out.
luck to the Western Conference teams. We don't gotta worry about them.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Right,
All right.
right.
We don't gotta worry about them to the finals.
Yes. Let them all kill each other before they get to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But I agree with you, Stan. I think that favorite thing is
Okay.
but that's my
You
whole
know.
point, right? It's about being humble,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
I don't care what Vegas says. I don't care what any analyst says. At the end of the day, you got to go out there and you got to win the games. So I don't care what seed we are. As long as we're top five seed, I don't care,
You know.
right? If we're the 50, I don't care. When come playoff time, execute and you are the better team, but you got to go out there and win it because I don't care how talented we are. I don't care if we got an MVP. I don't listen. Just because SGA was the MVP, it didn't. That doesn't mean that. Oh, okay, you're going to the finals automatically. And I have friends who are Thunder fans, and I said, "Yo, I said if you guys, I said the Nuggets can beat you guys. I said, but if you guys overcome the Nuggets, I said you guys are going all the way. I said because that team's experienced and they have no answer for Joker. Joker could just chucks up anything. It goes in. He's if they just
You know.
had healthier guys and better bench, they would have beaten the
You know
Thunder.
what the biggest. You know what the biggest thing that LeBron's gonna bring that nobody spoke about, and I know we're about to get out of here, but the biggest thing that LeBron is gonna bring over here is championship leadership.
Yeah.
He's going to come over here. He's going to show everybody. Listen,
That's why
this
we
is
hired Mike
how we.
Brown.
LeBron literally got four of them things
So does
as
Mike
the
Brown.
leader.
Three different
So
teams.
as the leader, as one of the best of all time,
I don't want to hear keep
as
we
the
saying we only
leader
won
of the
because of LeBron.
team.
I don't want to hear
Huh?
that.
now I
I don't want to
respect
keep
it.
hearing we only won because of LeBron. I don't want to hear
I,
that. Like
You
I
That's
don't
not
know
gonna.
that
No, it's
though.
not gonna. It's not gonna be like that.
Best
I hear.
player.
It's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be that at all. It's gonna be. It's gonna be kind of like
I
when
apologize. I
LeBron with
cut you
the.
off. Go.
No. You good. It's gonna be kind of like when LeBron with the Cleveland, and it's like LeBron and Kyrie sharing that. It's just Jalen Brunson is more mentally
Yeah,
sturdy enough to where he
I'm
gets that.
I mean, look, y'all
It's
remember
not
when
gonna be a LeBron ring. Oh, he's safe. It's not gonna be like that.
champ, you remember when the conversation was, oh, we only got Jalen Brunson because he's a nephew, and
Yeah,
like not giving the Knicks the credit, like,
yeah,
oh, we want to got like I can't give him that credit
yeah,
because he was the nephew, and oh, that was set up from
yeah,
honestly, you're always gonna have that conversation. You're always gonna have that narrative.
Yeah. No matter what.
It depends the platform you're on, right? Luckily, we have our own platform, right? We're gonna put out our own narrative, and B, you'll be able to spill it. Ant will be able to spill it. Rels, Champ, we're gonna be able to spill how we want our platform, well, what our takes are, and it won't be misconstrued or nothing like that. Man, B, you've been uh having phenomenal takes. I also want to take the time as well to highlight you and
yes,
just your journey, what you've been through uh
yes.
past month, Knicks World. If y'all may not know, but our sister been going through it. And we right here, you know what I'm saying? That's what family for.
Yep,
We lock arms,
yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to all my
We
MS
love
strong
you.
people.
If B, if you want to, if you'd like, if you want to give a quick, I don't necessarily want to tell you what you, but if you'd like, also if you don't want to, that's cool too. Just to kind of get the our fans a little bit more of the background of what's been going on. Obviously, we gonna continue to make sure, no matter who's on the show, we gonna represent. But B, you got your beautiful girl in the background.
Yeah, shout out to all my moms. I'm sorry, you gotta be mom podcasting and all that. But long story short, I did one day just checked out mentally, physically, emotionally to find out that I do have MS. It is multiple sclerosis. So shout out to all my people who are going through that. If you ever want to learn more about it, you can follow me on Instagram, Sporty Spice with 2 C's. Follow me on Twitter, Sporty Spice with 2 C's, because I would continuously just show my journey and show my progress and to inform you guys the way I have to inform myself. Just real quick, if you feel like something's not right, go check it out. Please don't feel like I'm gonna be okay. No, you gotta go make sure that I always tell people we're not machines, we're humans. But shout out to the Knicks world and shout out to the Knicks in general, because that is why I'm still fighting. I love basketball so much and I love my Knicks. So that's what's kept me alive these last few weeks. I just keep checking in to see what's doing, what's going on. And again, coming off the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm still on that high. It's making me want to just run it back. Yeah, that's all it really was. I just one day just wasn't feeling myself, checked in, and I'm glad that I took that break for a second, because my guys has been holding it down for me. We don't need a bandage. My guys has been holding it down for me, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing so.
Yeah, man. You already know what it is. A lot of love. We
Yeah, we
I
love
love you,
love,
B.
I love.
um
We
we
all here for
I
you
love,
forever,
man.
man.
there's
Facts.
highs and lows, that's life. We're gonna be with you with the highs, we're gonna be with you with the lows. You got some good brothers with you. Obviously you gave the people where they could find you, where they could support your work. Chant, tell the good people where they could find you, support your work.
Yes, yes, yes. You can find me on Twitter, X at what is my at?
Hi, man Jones.
Rolling,
It's
Fly
been a
Man Jones,
minute. It's been a minute.
Fly
It's been a minute. You can find me at Flyman Jones, man, on X.
All right, yeah. My son Flyman Jones. He's gonna be putting out even more content for you. Keep a lookout for Champ.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Champ, especially meeting you finally crossing that check. And yeah, the vibes was very much immaculate. Look, when you meet people, right, for the first time, like the vibes are like the same, if not better. You know what I'm saying? When you finally
Mm-hmm.
link up, it was like it was better. You know what I'm saying? We sitting there laughing, like
Yep.
how we always do. But it was very dope. You know, real quick about Fanatics. Before I get to my other brothers.
Shout
Uh,
out to y'all for that though. Yes.
So that was
Good job
fire.
there. You put that work in.
That did
Appreciate
y'all
it,
thing,
man.
bro.
You
Appreciate
bet
that, man.
stars. You
that
bet Tiffany Haddish, my boo.
You know what I'm
So shout out
saying?
to y'all, man.
that was work. That was work. Literally, like, yo, you over here, you over here. I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna be over there. Yo, we're gonna be back next year. Obviously, Nick World family. We would love to see y'all in the building. Knicks
Yes.
the Fanatics Fest. I will say it's the best fan fest type of a con I've ever been a part of. I've seen a lot happen. I've seen a lot try to pull off what Fanatics did. There was a luxury feel to it. There was a lot of different things. Shout out to the 4040 Club, who obviously gave me this on the blue carpet. Shout out to them. Shout out to LTK as well. We were there representing LTK, Knicks World. We were on the blue carpet. Was able to talk with the fans, also the the good talent that's in the NBA and in the media spaces and all around. Not just basketball related. But you obviously had your streamers there. You
That's
got
some cool people, man. I did.
all those guys. So look, we will be there again next year. Get your
Yep.
tickets, right? So we can
Tickets.
see y'all. We could, you can pull up on us. Yo, Knicks World, Knicks World, Knicks World. Obviously, follow us at a Knicks World, right? You're obviously watching us on the YouTube stream, so make sure y'all keep on that, keep your notifications on, and hit that subscribe button. My brother Rels, tell the good people where they can find you.
Yeah. You can follow me on King_Easy on Twitter or X, which one you want to call it, and Young Guru 82 on IG, and also in Therapy and Sports on X. Look out for great content later on the year from the team over there, and of course everything Knicks world when it comes to Knicks content. Shout out to my bro, shout out to my sis. Ready for get ready for this draft. Can't wait to see what that's gonna be like. And shout out to I want to say thank you for all the guests that we had on from Knicks Film School, James Edwards, everybody who just blessed us for this short was about 4 or 5 months we've been on together as a
Yeah,
squad. So
Yep.
we thank you for the fans, thank you for everybody who subscribed to the channel, tell a friend, but we really appreciate it. We're just starting out and this is a beautiful thing.
yeah, man. Proud of what we've been able to put together in this short time. Working with people like Doug B, giving you guys who obviously I gotta do a better job of promoting our theme record. I'm gonna start maybe dropping at the beginning of the show as well. Gonna be out there on DSPs as well very shortly. But Ant, tell the people where they can find you. And I also need to know where you get the hat. That was a fire hat. I need to, where you get the hat from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. This is
Got the fire
shout out to my
Pokemon.
guy
Is that an
Void.
Ant exclusive?
No, that is pretty fire.
Fire.
Yeah, shout out to all the Pokemon
I don't
lovers
like
out
that
there,
logo,
bro.
but all right. He really
And
trying to recruit LeBron. You trying to recruit LeBron, and I know you.
nah. But yeah, no, shout out to my guy Void. He makes some fire anime hats. So you can check him out on Twitter. Um that's his brand, makes some dope clothing, dope gear. But you can find me at Nick's Jedi on Instagram and Twitter, also known as Ant the Casual. Yeah, man, that's where I'll be at. And I'm looking forward to the season and the more off season stuff, man. Shout out to Knicks Nation.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Salute everybody that's been rocking with us. Obviously this is a we in the off season, but it's really the on season. It's gonna be more Knicks content. It's gonna be
Yep.
a lot of content coming out. We got a lot of interviews coming up. We got some fun shows. We got some shorts coming out. Again, make sure you are subscribed because that's the only way you're gonna make sure you're locked in and never miss any content. So yeah, again, for myself, for Champ, Rels, B, and it's
Don't
Yeah,
been
forget
later,
to
man.
watch them kids in summer league. Don't forget to watch our kids in
yeah.
summer league.
That's
So yeah,
right.
tune in. We're gonna drop the schedule for you. I believe it's start on the 11th. And shout out to my man Jay from the East. He's
Jay
gonna
from the East.
he's gonna be out there. Make sure y'all link with him. If y'all see him in the building, y'all go pull up on him. Gave a fire space today. By the time maybe if this drops tonight,
Shout out
tomorrow,
to my brother Jay from the East.
put the
Yes,
little
sir.
yeah. Shout out to y'all, man. Until next time, we're gonna catch y'all on the next train. Appreciate y'all.
Till next
Salute.
time, man.